for the first time ever, streaming is projected to top traditional television.
New projections show that streaming will account for more than half of U.S. adults' daily viewing. Insider Intelligence projects U.S. adults will spend 3 hours and 11 minutes watching digital video per day this year, while they're projected to watch 2 hours and 55 minutes of traditional linear TV.
Okay, let's bring in Brandon Katz. He's an industry strategist at Parrot Analytics. Welcome, Brandon. You know, for a long time we've spoken about streaming being the future, the demise of broadcast television, but in many ways it's taken a long time to actually hit. So what makes this year one that really seems to be pushing streaming over broadcast TV?
Is it Errol? Is it Errol?
I mean, is it Lana?
Of course it is. And you know what, by the way, if you have any hookups for that Phantom of the Opera Airbnb, I'm all in. To your question, you know, Netflix and YouTube have the largest libraries of content of really any platform out there right now. And just in 2022, we had a record 599 scripted English series air across cable, broadcast, and streaming, with the vast majority of those ending up on-demand digital viewing options for people to watch at their leisure. And while that number is expected to come down, it doesn't include the avalanche of unscripted content and non-English series that we also have access to. So it's really no surprise that these numbers are starting to even out this year. And it's obvious the sheer volume of viewing options would have us increase our digital access because we are doing it at our leisure. When you throw in short form content of Gen Z favorites like TikTok, which, you know, young kids love, as any exhausted parent can unfortunately tell you, it really is not a surprise that we're moving in this direction.
Well, YouTube and Netflix, I see here, are tied at #1 with 33 minutes streamed per day. What stands out to you really about people's viewing trends? How is that changing?
Yeah, I mean, as mentioned, Gen Z prefers that short form content. They aren't necessarily as enamored with long-form storytelling as older generations. And then you also, surprisingly, have Gen X Plus as one of the fastest-growing streaming and digital audiences of the pandemic. It seems that they are finally transitioning away from linear. So it is interesting to watch people really move towards more on-demand viewing that fit with their schedule and convenience, and more short-form viewing. But overall, I do want to warn, making grand proclamations in the midst of transitions, they don't always end up as the inevitable concrete conclusions we expect. Remember, it wasn't long ago in 2020, we were expecting the death of movie theaters, and now studios are racing to re-embrace theatrical. So while this is a shift, I think there's always going to be some form of existence and for select titles on linear.
That's right. And we should note, look, this is CBS. We built broadcast television in the US. Here we are streaming. We're also on all the social platforms. But next year, TikTok's projected to take over Facebook as the #1 consumed social media platform by adults. Are US lawmakers the only thing standing in the way of that growing even further?
Yeah, and there's even a reality in which if they do force TikTok to shut down, it could set up a US-only base disconnected from its Chinese parent company, in which, there you go, TikTok still exists. But it is interesting because things like TikTok can actually help drive interest to select scripted titles through both organic trends and studio-guided trends. I mean, last year, we saw Minions: The Rise of Gru attract a teenage male audience thanks to viral trends. We've seen the Wednesday Dance from Netflix go absolutely viral. And then we've seen spikes in demand for certain legacy series such as Hannibal and a lot of the great procedurals on CBS as old clips make the digital rounds. So while it is difficult, there are ways to use these new competitive platforms to actually reroute interest back to your content.
All right, Brandon Katz, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.